Hi, welcome again, and nice to have a chat with you. Remember, we are working on how to create a successful Stokvel. Today we are on series number 3, where we're talking about having a mission for your Stokvel. What is a mission? A mission, like I said, I mentioned earlier on, it is that mountain, that Kilimanjaro, that Mount Everest that you want to climb as a Stokvel. Remember, I said Stokvels should now start thinking or operating as a business to a large extent without losing the soft part social component, But the big, massive mountain for me that we should try and climb is how do we actually make our Stokvels better, especially on the economic front. And how do we do that? We need to set goals for ourselves. And most of us must have heard this thing about goals. You go at work, they tell you about setting goals at home. It's about setting goals for yourselves. And unfortunately, life should be goal driven, and that's just what it is, And we talk about SMART goals. SMART goals are, your goal has to be specific as a Stokvel. You need to come up with that specific thing. It doesn't have to be a lot of things that you want to achieve. It could be just one goal. We want to save 10,000 rands by the end of year 1. Whatever it is, let it be specific. Because if it's specific, you will be able to measure it, And of course, which brings me to the next point, which is measurable. The goal must be measurable. It takes us away from those Stokvels. We were thinking, guys, no. We can't just be thinking and thinking. Let us come up with specific goals that we can measure, And these goals need to be achievable. I've lived with Stokvels for so many years. Some of the goals that people set for themselves, if you think about it, are probably not achievable. They're not achievable because of some limitations within themselves. Let me just make an example. If you say, we want to own shares at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, and at the same time, you are still battling even with contributing just your 100 rands a month, So I'm not saying you should not be ambitious, or we want to own a property, and yet you haven't even started opening a bank account. You don't even have 5,000 rands, So just set yourselves a goal that you can realistically achieve, which is another step. The goal must be specific. You must be able to measure your goal. The goal must be achievable. The goal has to be realistic within your means. And by realistic, I mean, sometimes you have to take a moment of reflection and take what I like to call a scenario planning. What if this happened? What if this happened? Right now we are swimming in this coronavirus or COVID-19 storm. We are trapped. And no one foresaw that, but the reality is no one can predict life with precision. So be as realistic as possible as you set goals for yourselves. And finally, there must be a time frame. We start here, sphelela la. We are going to save money to help Lerato to buy bricks, to build a back room that she's going to rent out. That is specific, it's measurable, it's achievable. And there's a time frame. At the end of that cycle, again, we start again. It mustn't just be open-ended and say, sizobona phambili. Ayisebenzi kanjalo, it doesn't work that way. The last point is we must all play a role in working towards achieving these goals. It cannot just be Busi's responsibility or Lerato or Togo's or Sipo's responsibility. We must all put our shoulders on the wheel so that this wheel can be able to move. Thank you.